Okay, welcome back. Part 4. Coyote swap. Tbird. Yes. I've been working on this thing for a couple days straight now since I posted the last video, part 3. I got a lot of the kind of boring, tedious crap done, just disassembly anyway. Nothing worth filming, but making good progress. Got the engine compartment all cleaned up, suspension's all out, brakes are all off. So I'm basically ready to make the decision. At this point, I gotta get the brake booster off yet, and I need to put all the Maximum Motorsports manual brake kit stuff on, get the master on. I think I would like to run the brake lines from the master to the proportioning valve with the motor not in the car. And then I need to make a decision on what I'm doing with these fender aprons. I think I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna have ScottRod make me a set, but I think I'm only gonna do partial, if that makes sense. And I'll show you what I mean here. But let's take a quick look on what I've got done so far, and then we'll just keep rolling. Okay, so under the hood, I really want to use the battery in the stock location for this car. And the way that battery tray mounts, it sits down inside that little recess in the top of the frame rail. And the ScottRod panels actually kind of cover that. They kind of go from there to there and make it a nice flat spot right there. So I'd have to cut some holes in it to get the battery tray to sit down where I want it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have either, if ScottRod won't make them for me this way, I'll just get the regular ones and I'll modify them myself. But I think what I want to do is I'll have them basically stop the aprons right there at that transition, that line right there. So it'll just be covering all of this mess up here, and then it'll leave the basically on both sides. The top part of this frame rail will still be, you'll see it like this. So the fender aprons will cover just right here. Because on this side, I've modified the stock air box that comes with the control pack. It'll actually fit right there. I just got to put a little single hole in it for one of the rubber grommets, and I think that'll be good. So I really would like it. Again, it's going to basically, ScottRod panels will just come right to that line right there and then up. So it'll cover up that hole, all those holes. I think that'll look pretty good. I'm going to get his aluminum, probably the aluminum panels, and I'm just going to paint them the body color, and I'll just rivet them in place. I ain't got time to deal with, welding in, smoothing everything out, body work and all this crap. I'm just going to pop rivet the panels on, and I'll paint them body color. And I may even, this panel here, I may even paint that body color too, just so it all kind of blends in. I think it might look pretty cool. Well, we'll see how we do there. But yeah, anyway, got everything, all the wiring for the electric fans and the meth kit, everything was mounted up here. All that's gone now. I got the wire harness from there and there all disconnected, so now I can move it to the back side of the apron and hide all that. Got to lengthen some stuff. And I still need to look through the control pack wiring directions just to kind of see what I'm getting into there. So yeah, next thing is get the brake booster out, get the brakes done, get them plumbed back up to the proportioning valve. And at that point, I think I can drop the motor in. I think I'll be good to go there. So we will worry about the K-member after the motor is in the engine compartment and hanging there. Then I will slide the K-member in and get that all bolted up. So the engine's off the cherry picker. Got her hanging right now, and going to put all the clutch and flywheel, all that stuff on now. So I got the index plate for the QuickTime bell. That's installed. I'm just using a stock Ford cast iron flywheel for this. ARP bolts. They got blue Loctite on the threads, the ARP assembly lube underneath the heads. torqued it in 2 steps, 45 foot-pounds, and then 70 final. Cleaning up the surface with some just a wire brush. I had a little bit of some surface rust spots popped up. This was been sitting in the box forever. Apparently it was not oiled up very well, so no big deal. Hit it with a soft wire wheel, knock those off. I'm going to clean all this with brake clean because you got some that black assembly lube kind of oozing out behind the head of here. Last thing I want is from the centrifugal forces from this thing when it fires up. I don't want it spraying all that lube out and getting it on the surface where the clutch disc is going to be. So going to clean all that out real good. And I have the proper roller pilot bearing. I'm going to install that next. And then I can get on to indexing the QuickTime bell, make sure everything's perfectly in line. Oh, also really cool from MAP Performance, I believe, here in Michigan. I got his little tool for locking up the flywheel for torquing everything down. Nice, cheap little tool. Good to have in the toolbox in case the trans ever got to come out and I got to pull the flywheel for any reason. It's real nice to be able to lock up the motor. So, remove that, and let's get moving on here. So, bell housing is on. The other header is on. Starter is in. I got the mini starter. This was from Scram Speed. Looks like it's got plenty of clearance here. I'm actually charging up my battery. I'm actually going to test crank this thing on before I put it in the car. So I've read some real horror stories about people having starter issues, binding up, not wanting to crank, whatever. So I want to make sure I hear this thing crank over before I put it in the car. So I indexed the bell housing, and basically what I came up with, the way I did it anyway, is I started off with the dial indicator right here. I zeroed it out. Then as I spun the motor over, it went to 1 thousandths, 2 thousandths, and then it went to 97 on my dial gauge, which would be like, just call it -3 from 0, the -2, the -4. So the two spots where it's farthest away and closest are right here. So I have a 6 thousandths variance between those two spots. You divide that by 2, which gives me 3 thousandths. Anything less than 5 thousandths misalignment is within spec. So really nothing needs to be done. She's all bolted up and it's good to go. So I don't have no worries there. Throw out bearings in. Fork is on. These little weird stop things that came with the QuickTime bell, I asked on the Coyote pages, and it seemed like the consensus was most people just didn't use them. The directions kind of suck on, they just say use one for a spring style fork and the other one for a wire style. I don't even know what the hell that means. So, plus when I was trying to run the bolts in, the holes for it, they don't want to go in. So I don't know if the threads in that are messed up or if the bolts they give are wrong or whatever. But anyway, it looks like it's only there to help center the fork. But I mean, once the transmission's in, it can't move anyway. So it seems kind of redundant. So whatever, it's not going in. I should be fine. So anyway, I'm gonna let this battery charge up. I only had 9 bolts in it sitting around, and then I'm gonna go ahead and test crank this and make sure everything works like it should. All right, I'm gonna hook up the jumper cables. Got it grounded to the block. Jumper cable on the positive post of the starter. All I want to do is I just want to hear this thing crank over, make sure the starter's working. Battery's only got about 11 volts in it right now, so hold on the trigger wire, and here we go. Ready? There we go. Turns over. I'll let this charge up a little bit more, get a little more voltage in it, and I'll try it one more time, but that sounded pretty good to me. It probably gave the motor a half rotation, so I'll give this a little bit of time, let it juice up a little bit more, and then I'll hit it again and get a good couple rotations out of it. I'm happy. There's no oil in it right now anyway, so I don't want to be spinning this thing up, so that's good. Starter's not bound, wasn't grinding, wasn't making no weird noises, so I think we're good there. Let's try one more time, just for the hell of it. Oops. Yeah, it just doesn't have enough voltage right now. That'll work. Sweet. All right, I got some assistance over here now. Somebody half my size crawling in the car here helped me remove the brakes on the car. So we got to get this brake booster off, get it out of the way, because we got to get the Maximum Motorsports manual brake kit installed, which is all of this here. The new pedal, push rod, everything for the firewall. So we are going to currently do that. That has to be done before the motor can go in the car, which is ready. So right now, Bill is currently working on removing, I think that we're going to take the steering column out, then the pedal box, and then we can get to everything up there on the firewall. So I'm using the Maximum Motorsports manual brake conversion kit. It's technically for a Fox body Mustang. Tbird is a Fox body, but 83, this was the first year for this car, so talking with Maximum Motorsports, they weren't exactly sure that this is going to be what I need to be a direct bolt-in, so we may run into situations where we're going to have to modify stuff or whatever, or it could just bolt right in just like a Mustang, so I don't know yet. But yeah, we'll figure that out as we go along here. And if anybody else has got an 83 Tbird that wants manual brakes, now you'll know how to do it. All right, so we had to remove the entire steering column from the car. That's all out. Dealt with these old ass plastic plugs, and now we had to unbolt this side of the dash from the body of the car, and there's a brace. You can see right where Bill is wrenching on it right there. Not exactly easy to get to.
Not terrible, not great.
So we got to get that out, then this brace can come off the pedal box. And then I believe then we're ready to actually unbolt the pedal box from the firewall.
Just be nice if it loosened up instead of being stiff the whole time.
The whole way. But yeah, this is a good time. All right, so there is the, what is it, the steering column brace bracket, whatever. So this right here was the end, right up there in the door jamb on the A-pillar. Bill was fighting to get out. I have no idea what the hell that is or what it does, but it's out and it's out of the way now. So now we can go ahead and get the pedal box out. Okay, I got the pedal box, or I should say Bill got the pedal box out of the car. So now I got to swap the brake pedal out for the new Maximum Motorsports one. Going to reuse the little pivot bolt and the bushings and everything that are in that one currently. And also the little switch, I think that's for the cruise control. That's going to go bye-bye. And they give a new brake light switch. A lot nicer than the Ford one, so I'll go ahead. Already broke that loose, pull that out, and swap in the new pedal. Okay, got the pedal swapped in, got the new push rod on, and going with the directions from Maximum Motorsports. You move, you can see the old spot where the bolt was at for the brake pedal. They want you to move it down to that new location there. So far, I know the directions are for Mustang, but everything seems to be translating over to the Tbird without any issues so far. Probably just jinxed myself, but anyway, there it is. Pedals on. All right, so one of the things Maximum Motorsport offered was a replacement for this little plastic, I don't know, little plate, whatever it is, spacer. So they're pretty brittle. They have an aluminum upgraded version, which I got. And sure enough, when we took this one out, it was already broken. So we already got the new aluminum one installed. So that's done. Bill is now putting back in that brace, tightening up that to the A-pillar here. And we already got the manual master. The plate is already bolted up to the firewall, so it's going back together already. All right. So we have pedal box. Oh my God, what a mess. Holy crap, that pedal is low to the floor. Yeah, definitely have to make some adjustments to this. Instead we're touching the floor mat. But anyway, it's all back in, bolted up. Next, I'm gonna do the gas pedal, get that out of here, get the drive-by-wire coyote pedal in, and get the clutch pedal hooked back up. And out here under the hood, I just grabbed an extra master cylinder from one of the Bronco projects. Has the ports facing the outside of the car, which is what I need to get. But I just need to make sure I get the one with the right size bore. So all kinds of room for activities now. So once I figure out these brake lines, right master cylinder, the motor can officially go in the car. Freaking awesome. And it's a little preview here. Did a little bit more touch up under the hood here. And got the ScottRod panels painted up. Just shot them with some clear. They're gonna sit here overnight to dry. Sorry, no professional paint booth stuff going on here. And then this is a radiator hold down. Decided to change that up from the black. So those are done, those are coated. Let them dry. I threw around the idea of actually doing this panel too, but I think I'm just gonna leave it black. Seems like everybody I ask says to leave it black, so I guess that's what it'll stay. So soon all that ugliness will be gone. Can't wait. And one other thing, before I close out this video, I wanted to show. I did actually find Hotwire Auto. Right there's all the information. They make cruise control that will hook right up to the drive-by-wire gas pedal. It's a nice little kit. It looks like very little wiring to do. And then they give you this nice little, here's a little control pad for it. They do make a wireless version, but I think I'm going to put this right in my center console where I had all the controls for the water meth kit that was on the car. So I'm going to have cruise control on the car. Excited about that. Got to have that for a daily driver. And this was right around $300 for the kit. So I don't think that's very expensive at all. $300 to have cruise control. Do it. All right, well, that's going to wrap up this video. I know I got to get better on getting some more content up quickly. I've drug this out for a while here. Just feel like I haven't quite got my motivation back to knock out a bunch of stuff out in the garage here lately since recovering from the COVID crap. But anyway, Maximum Motorsports, early Fox body, manual brake kit, worked just as they described in the directions. Everything fit fine. Also, yeah, I didn't show it, but there was a little, where the hell is it? Right here on the steering column. There we go. The brake switch. I didn't show how to install that, but it's pretty simple. Worked on the Tbird steering column just as easy, so we're all good. So I'm going to wrap this up. I need to figure out tonight the right master cylinder that I need to go with this. It's basically a 93 Cobra braking system on this car. So I got to find the right bore master cylinder with the brake ports facing the outside of the car, and then I'm good. I get those on, make my brake lines, And then she goes in. We are ready. So anyway, that's it for this video. We'll see you on the next one, and hopefully we'll have some cool stuff to look at underneath the hood. So later, thanks.